All right, here we go with another lecture video in philosophy and film. This lecture's topic is existentialism. So we're going to look at the existentialism of a philosopher named Jean-Paul Sartre. And we're going to look at his ideas of existence precedes essence and bad faith. So we'll understand what those mean once we've gone through this. It's a quote from Jean-Paul Sartre. He says, "Man is condemned to be free." There's supposed to be a bit of irony there because there's some idea that freedom is not the same as being condemned. Like, what is it to be condemned to be free? Here's the context of that quote. He says, "Man is condemned to be free, condemned because he did not create himself, yet is nevertheless at liberty. And from the moment that he is thrown into this world, he is responsible for everything he does." So Sartre is 100% committed to the idea of free will, and that with free will comes this responsibility. We create ourselves through our choices, and thus we're responsible for the person we are. This is the core of existentialism, this idea of choice. So we might ask, what is your essence? Well, the idea of essence is what something really is, what truly defines something. And Sartre says existence precedes essence for human beings. Okay, for everything else that's manufactured, people decide what it's going to be used for and what it is before it's designed and made. So we want to design a pencil. What's it going to be for? It's going to be for writing. We want to design a cell phone. It's designed to do things that cell phones do. But human beings, on the other hand, he says, well, they exist first, and then they create their essence through their choices. We determine who we are and who we're going to be by what we decide to do. He says, "You're free, therefore choose." So thus, you choose who you are. At every moment of every day, says you're choosing who you are. You're also setting a role model for everyone else to follow. Why? Because if you choose something, you're saying that's the right thing to do. That's the choice to make. We exist first. We might say we're sort of a blank slate, and then we fill in the blank with our choices. That becomes our essence. We exist first, and then we create our essence through our choices. So I can sum up Sartre's existentialism as follows. You exist, you're free, so you must choose. You don't have any choice, you're condemned to be free. This also makes you responsible for your choices. Why? Because you're free. You're choosing to do various things. These choices make you who you are. They define you. They make up your essence. And they also give meaning to your life. Now, think of a time when someone, maybe yourself, did not take responsibility for their choices. What excuse did they give? Well, Sartre thinks there's certain kinds of excuses that people might give. And one kind of excuse, they say, well, I wasn't responsible for it. Well, I got carried away, or I was in a moment of passion, or I was angry. He says this is a way for us to not take responsibility for our choices, saying, oh, I wasn't myself at the time. So he says, no, you're always able to choose. Even if you get angry, even if you have passionate desire, you're able to decide what that means, and you decide whether to act on it or not. And he calls this not taking responsibility bad faith. For him, you're in bad faith when you deny your freedom. You deny that you're essentially free. In a sense, you're denying your humanity. You're saying you're like a pencil or a cell phone rather than like a human being. So, according to existentialism, you have no choice. You are condemned to be free. You have to choose. So, just in this, as in this etching by M.C. Escher, Each of us is like an artist creating ourselves. We're determining who we are by our choices, just as an artist chooses where to put various lines. So that concludes this video lecture in philosophy and film.